Hi, I'd like to speak with you today about meeting children where they're at. So, when you are coming into a space where children are playing, or you're going to visit a preschool classroom and you're just arriving, um, or if the children are even coming to you and you are waiting for them, if you do not connect with the energy where they're at, um, it's just not a good idea. Because even if you were meeting an adult, think about it. If you were meeting somebody, you want to meet them where they're at. Um, there are some times when we, as adults or even as children, we know in advance, I'm going to such and such a place, and I'm going to need to compose myself in such a manner that I can fit into the place that I'm going to. And oftentimes we instruct our children, now we're going to have a music and movement time with Luz Elena, and this is how we're going to act. So there may be a little bit of preparation happening, but regardless, uh, even if you were going to welcome somebody to tea in your house, you would tune into them if you saw that they were upset as they walked through the door, or if you saw they were really flustered, or if you saw that they were even a little bit checked out as they arrived, or as you arrived, you noticed this. So it's super important that no matter the person's age, and especially with children, out of respect and decency towards them, you want to see where they're at, and you want to meet them where they're at. So there are ways to do this, and it's usually the nonverbal is what is most important. I mean, obviously, you can arrive and you can say, "Oh, it's so nice to see you. Thank you for gathering in a circle. Thank you for being so attentive. You're all looking at me and you're being quiet. Thank you." And this helps them also to understand what they're doing. But really, it's how you're being that you're connecting with them. Now, obviously, when you arrive and the teacher has done a good job in getting them ready, or if it's a different instance, if they're ready for you and they're centered and they're grounded and they're peaceful, that's amazing. That's very impressive. And I want to talk about when that's not happening. For example, when you walk in and somebody's crying, then you can tune into your heart and allow that space for that to be happening, not to resist it. You walk in and they, and I'm referring to instances like when you're visiting a classroom. Sometimes I visit and they don't even know I was coming. They forgot I was coming, and everyone's playing and doing something, and it's going to take them a while to get things cleaned up and organized and get everyone to the circle. So I am open and I surrender to this and I join them, right? Sometimes that's when I do the clean and organizing songs. Um, you know, tra la la boom die, it's cleanup time today, etc. I'll record some of those cleanup songs. Um, so your heart goes into their space, whether there's a sadness or a confusion or a lot of patience that's needed. You can set your things up slowly. Um, so um, meeting the children where they're at, what that means is that if you have a plan of something that you want to do at the beginning, you need to modulate it. So sometimes it's really great, and I'm not showing you my lap here. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of pretend this is my lap, okay? So sometimes I make a beat on my lap like this. It's a really good way of getting everyone together. Let's sit down in a circle, a circle, a circle. Let's sit down in a circle so we can start to play. Sometimes you might do something like that that kind of gathers them in. This beat helps to gather the children in. Sometimes I play a flute, and the flute helps calm down space, and the children come and gather to the flute. Sometimes it's something more rhythmic, like so. You have to keep an impeccable rhythm, but it will gather attention. It will help the children to gather. Okay, that's a possibility only if it's appropriate then. Um, Sometimes I gather children while we're standing, because they're kind of running around, and rather than having them come in and sit down, I take that as an opportunity to maybe do a little circle dance with them. And so we might say, let's hold hands in a circle, a circle, a circle. Let's hold hands in a circle so we can start to play. And that would be done standing and having them come in, or even walking around if that's available to do with the sentiments of the other children who have already gathered. Um, if the energy is really boisterous and really loud, um, you just got to keep that in mind. You keep that in your body, in your heart. You want to join the children where they're at, meaning not resisting where they're at, meaning opening your heart and your energetic field to embrace and accept where they're at, and really work from there, either with the loudness in your voice or the rhythms that you choose. Sometimes it can be surprising because you bring in an opposite vibration and sound, and it brings people together. Sometimes you have to bring a rhythm and a sound um, that actually meets them exactly with the volume and the sound. But sometimes you can do it just with your inner attunement, with your inside energy of how you're loving the children. So there is a lot more to say about this topic. um, yeah, there's a lot more to say. It's stories and everything. But for now, I'm just going to say I hope that was helpful, and you can always contact me for coaching. All right, bye.